Hi everyone, welcome. I hope you are doing well. In this quick video, I'm going to talk about how to find the PID of a process that is using or blocking a specific port in Linux. So there could be a scenario where you're trying to start some application or a process on a specific port and you get an error that port is already in use or listening to some other process, something like that, right? So in that scenario, what you would have to do is you would have to find the process ID which is using or blocking your port. So there are different ways we can do this in Linux, and the very first method is netstat, which is most commonly used. So the command is netstat -nap pipe grep, then we'll grep the port, which is 8080. Now, before I do that, let me just tell you, for the purpose of this video's demo, what I've done is I've already started a process which is using port 8080 on my machine. So let me just first confirm if it is running. So I'll use telnet to confirm that. So as you can see, telnet is listening or got connected to my local host on port 8080. That means port 8080 is up and it is in use. So coming back to the netstat command, so what we would do is we would run netstat -nap and then pipe grep and the port which we are trying to check the process for. Now you would notice when I run this command, you would notice that I won't be able to see the PID, and the reason would be indicated in the output itself. Now if you see, I got the information that my machine is listening on port 8080, but I didn't get the process ID. And the reason is, if you see in the bracket, it says not all processes could be identified. Non-owned process info will not be shown. You would have to be root to see it all. So in Linux, you can only see the process information for those processes which you have generated with your own ID, or you would have to be root to see the process information for other users' ID. So let me clear my screen. So instead of running netstat directly, what I would do is I would run it as sudo, because the process using the port 8080 was created by a user which is not the same user that I'm using currently to run the netstat command. So if I run sudo now, netstat with sudo now, you can see that I got information that my port is associated to PID 18074, which is a Java process. So now if I want to get the information about this particular PID, what I can do is ps-ef grep the PID. And what I'll do is I don't want to check the grep information, so I'll just exclude that from the output. And if you see now, I got the process, which is basically a Tomcat server listening on port 8080, which I intentionally started before beginning this video. So that's the first command. Now in some of the modern Linux distros, this netstat utility is being decommissioned, and what they are instead proposing is another utility which is called SS. SS stands for socket statistics. So similar to netstat, we would have to run ss using sudo. So the command is sudo ss-lptn, and in the single quote you would type sport equal to whatever your port is. So if I run this command, now if you see, I got the output. It says the state is listen, the port is 8080, and the process is Java PID is 18074, which is the same PID that I got with the netstat command. So this is the second method, SS, which is socket statistics. So now the third method, let me clear this screen and I'll just list them one by one so that we can have all of them in hopefully single screen. The third method is called Lsof. So the command is, again, you'd have to run it with sudo lsof -n-i and then your port, which is 8080. If I enter this, in this one we got nice columns also, so I know the command is Java, PID is 18074, user is Tomcat, and other information, but we are mainly concerned about the PID, which is 18074. So that is the third method. So we have netstat, ss, lsof, and the fourth method is using fuser, right? So fuser, now similar to the previous three commands, fuser also needs to be run as a sudo. So the command is sudo fuser -v-n TCP, the type of protocol that you want to check, and then the port 8080. Now if you see, I got 8080, which is TCP port, and then you have the user Tomcat and the PID 18074, and the command is again Java, right? So this way we can use any one of these four methods, that is netstat, ss, lsof, or fuser, to get the PID of a process which is using a particular port. Now, if you want to get more details about the process, like I mentioned, we can do ps-ef and grab the process ID. Or in Linux, each process has a directory created under under the proc folder. So you can do cd/proc/ whatever the PID we have, like for example 18074 we had. In this case we can do cd proc 18074. If I do like this and do ls-l here, you can see lots of files and folders here which basically contains the information about my process. So for example, if I say I want to check under which directory this process is running, so again I can do sudo ls-l cwd. Cwd is a symlink which basically shows me the current working directory of my process, which was obviously under apps tomcat, and that is the directory that the process is currently using. Similarly, you can use cmd line status. So if I read about the status, I get the name, UMask, PID, and then other information like for example groups and other in-depth detail about the process, which for the purpose of this video we won't be covering, but basically you can get more details about the process using these files and folders. Okay, again just to summarize, these are the four utilities. One is Netstat, other one was SS, socket statistics, third one is Lsof, and fourth one is fuser. These are the utilities that we can use to get the process ID that is using a specific port in Linux. And again, I had to run them with sudo because the process was actually run by some other user, not the same user with which I'm running these commands. I hope you liked this video. Thank you for your time. See you soon. Bye.